Alrighty. We're finally here chilling out. My gosh. Oh, girl, you drive me crazy. Just kidding. I like the place, but I just felt bad. I really wanted to get started at 6 o'clock, because I got my family in the kids' room, and they're like stashed themselves in there so they can just have me do my show. So
Oh, God, at last we can talk.
I know. Oh boy. It's awesome though. It's awesome to finally get here and chill out, right?
Yeah, well, I tell you, it's been absolutely crazy tonight. I mean, with the energy I've been feeling, I mean, from people, I mean, it's like everybody's sort of uptight, and there was police, there was a big raid on a house down the street near me, and there's all sorts of crazy things going on in where I live. It's just, I don't know what's going on. It's just mad, it really is. And, well, I just want you to tell us the story about all these, get off your chest what's been bothering you, because I know you've had a bit of a really rough week.
Yeah, actually I have. Just been going through a lot actually. There's just been too much going on. Okay, like just everything that's been happening. Like I've been going through this whole child support garbage with the ex-husband and all that, and I have a lawyer that's been totally fighting on my behalf and helping me out the best that she can, and she actually brought my the child support down to 0, which was pretty good, and bring it all the way back to, I think, what do you call it when they reverse it back to September, where the last time that they actually took money out or whatever. And which was fine, but then I offered, well, maybe I can go ahead and just pay 50 right now, because that's all we can afford at the moment. And hoping that the courts would actually see, like, I was actually trying to work things out in a very harmonious way. And so the DCSS, what they were trying to do was that's the child support. They're trying to say, well, she doesn't have to pay anything for a few months as long as she shows that she's trying to find 10 jobs a week. And I'm just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Like, after I've showed you that I have 2 kids, they're 5 and 6, I have a lot. I mean, to me, that's my job. That's my full-time job, or my children, And then whatever I do online, whenever I get to working, but I've been extremely busy with them and finally getting them enrolled in a nice school. And so anyways, the lawyer went ahead and talked to my ex and talked about it, and he's just like, oh yeah, well, 50's fine. I can settle for that as long as she shows me that she's applying for 50 jobs a week. And I'm just like, this guy is something else, Because I'm like, when I was married to him, he didn't want me to work at all. I was a stay-at-home mom. I did my tarot readings from the house, and he didn't want me working. He wanted me to stay home with the kids. And then, he's married to a wife that, who don't nearly do anything at all, like nothing compared to what I do. Like, I'm just constantly on the go doing things. I'm very highly creative. And she's kind of a pile, like she just sits on her ass and doesn't really do anything. So from what I've heard anyway, I don't know her, but I've heard from other people. So I'm like, okay, so obviously, you're married to somebody who ain't doing anything, but yet you want to come after me. But yet here years ago, I was this crazy woman. I was psychotic. I was schizophrenic, and whatever all these labels that he labeled me, that I was child abusive, and I was abusing my kids. Naming, just had a whole list of things to keep me away, right, to make me look like a crazy woman. But yet here, 7 years later, he's coming after me for child support, and then it started in 2008 or 2009. I'm trying to remember, when I was having my heart issue, and I was in and out of the hospital because of my heart palpitations, and I found out I have not a very good heart, what do you call it? Let's see, what is it called? They call it a PSVT, which is palpitations, but it's like it's a form of arrhythmia. Like, I mean, I thought I was going to die a couple times, and I ended up at the hospital. So anyway, so I had all these problems in and out of the hospital, had to get on this medicine called Norpass and all this stuff. So here I am, mother with two babies. My husband's in the Navy. This is back in 2008. This is when I became known on YouTube, by the way. And then 2009 is when he started getting me for child support, and I'm like, whatever, dude. Wants me to pay $307 a month. And so that was kind of an issue, and with that, so finally, I finally am able to afford a lawyer because I was able to at least halt him and figure out what else to do. So anyway, what happens was, I've been realizing I've been battling this for such a long time, and of all the money that they've even taken out of our account and out of our what do you call it, our tax returns, equals about, I would say, 10 grand or more. And I kind of let it go because I'm thinking in my head, well, you know what, if it's for my daughter or anything, I don't care. As long as it's for my daughter, that's fine. And I know very well it's not just for her. And she knows very well. And, and my son even told me none of the money even went to him at all. Like, I mean, they use it for themselves. And so anyway, now my daughter's 14, she's going to be 15 this year, and, I've been just battling this for such a long time. I've even, sent her some gifts here and there, but then I stopped because I just felt like she's never going to get them. I'm dealing with two people that are extremely childish. This is the couple, extremely childish. They don't have a child of their own. They can't have a kid of their own. So, the wife has no freaking idea what it's like to be a mother and what it's like to be away from their child. So right away, they believe, oh, she's a crazy nut, she's nuts, she's beat my kids, or what, she's whatever. And I'm thinking, okay, well, obviously if that is so true, then what the heck are you doing coming after me for any money then? I mean, aren't you afraid of me, or, I'm a nutcase? And so finally, I decided I'm just going to go ahead and probably, take the other route. Oh yeah, but wait, before, paying the $50 a month, what happened was, here, I'm going to turn this music off here. Turn it down. I can't really, okie dokie, hold on one second. Okay, so anyway, so I said, okay, $50 a month, as long as I'm able to talk to my daughter on Skype. And then I'll be able to go ahead and do that. And so he never contacted the lawyer. Like, he just freaked out after that. Obviously, he's afraid that if I communicate with my daughter, then, the truth is going to come out, and I'm going to tell her a lot of things about him, which is probably going to be true because he deserves that. He deserves, the truth to come out. But I figured, well, and then I thought about it, and this past week, just worrying about this whole thing, and then having major issues with my heart again, because I do have this heart problem. So I went through this major heart issue this past week, and then I just come to the realization, I mean, when I have this heart issue, it feels like you're gonna die. Like, you have no oxygen pumping through your brain, you have no oxygen at all, and you're not able to breathe, and your chest is closing in, and you just feel like, and it's not an anxiety attack because I was diagnosed with a heart problem. And then I just came to the realization, I said, this has been such a frickin' battle, and it's been, and I know very well, as nuts as he is, I know he loves our daughter, okay, but he doesn't realize the consequences that it's going to have. And I know he would never do anything bad to her. I know he wouldn't, molest her and abuse her and whatever. I know he won't do that, even though, to me, what is very abusive is keeping her away from her mother to make her own decisions. But I know I don't have to worry about her in that sense. So this has been going on for since she was 4 years old, back in 2004, since I last seen her. I've actually last talked to my own daughter, and I just came to the realization, I said, you know what, of all the money that has come out of our account, to at least let her know that, hey, we're still thinking about you, whatever. I've come to the realization that, I'm done fighting. I'm done fighting this. And this is not my fight anymore. This is actually becoming a karmic situation that, and if you believe that we came back to this planet, before we came to this planet, and especially with Dolores Cannon, and I went under her hypnotherapy, I realized that before you come back to this planet, what do? You sign a blueprint. You have a blueprint, and you sign contracts with those that you are supposed to learn from. So you sign a contract saying, okay, in order for us to graduate, to get to the higher dimensions, we're going to try to work this out in harmony. So you could be the husband, I could be the wife. You come back, and we'll see how things are going, right? And so, yeah, definitely. Major, major tug of war. And so to me, it was like, you know what? I can lower myself some more and continue this battle when really it's more of a battle within himself, has nothing to do with my daughter. When you think about it. And because she's going to get older within the next few years. I mean, she's going to be out of there, and she's going to move on and make the decision just like my son did, my oldest son did. And he came home. So that's pretty much what's going to happen. She's going to realize a lot of things, and all I can do is move on and make peace and think and focus on my children now, who are in my care right now, who need me more than anything because they're younger. And so I decided I'm going to just go ahead and, I'm done with the battle. I have a heart issue that one day if something happens, I can end up dropping dead here. And that's what arrhythmia is. Like one moment, one day, I could just not wake up, and we don't know what the hell happened. So I can continue this battle, and I don't know, from what I remembered, his heart is pretty healthy, so I don't think he's got a heart problem, and he has to worry about dropping dead anytime, even though I wish he would. Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like, well, I'm just going to let it go, and I'm just going to relinquish my rights over her, and it's not a big deal because, like I said, I haven't seen her since she was 4, and she's going to be 15. So that was the offer from him, if he could just sign your rights. I mean, he could at least been like, hey, you know what, okay, you guys are having hard times, all right, that's fine, we understand you're unemployed. I'm just going to let you go, drop the charges. He could easily drop the charges and be a man about it, but it sounds like he wants to be a chick about it, and go after me. And so, or you can sign your rights away. Like you have to go that extra mile. And again, it's all control. It's so much freaking control, Shelley. It's not even funny. And it has nothing to do with the children. It's like, I like, because he's a short little guy. He's real short. And he has a major complex problem. And a lot of men that are like that, I mean, trust me, they have issues. They want control and all that because, he had an issue with his mother. Major issue. He doesn't respect her. He does not respect her at all. And just with that, it doesn't really show much of a respect. And, he's a type, like he just can't stand his own mother. So there's an issue there, and it has really nothing to do with me. Because if that was the issue, he would have never attracted me in the first place. You are who you attract in your life. So that's the terms I came to. So I'm just sick and tired of even dealing with him. It's like I've been, happily married with my husband now for like 7 years. We're going to be married for 8 years, and our kids are growing. They're happy. They're going to a nice school. They're beautiful children. They're speaking bilingual, Spanish and English. And, they're very educated compared to my other children. I mean, I wish I could have been able, if I was part of their life, they would have been bilingual, trilingual. I would have done the best I could for them. But because I was thrown out of the situation. So anyway, that's pretty much it, I feel that a lot of us parents who go through this, now if the situation was really bad, like say the parent was, a pedophile or a abuser, then you seriously have to step in. I mean, you really don't need the courts for that. You just drive up there and you do what you got to do to get your kid back. That's what I believe. If the kid is in harm and the kid's being messed with, and people get so they turn into real, what do you call it, weenies, where they feel like they have to use the court for everything. But if it's your child that's going to be like, totally mistreated in that respect, You got to do what you got to do. And actually, I actually tried to do that. I actually went back to try to get my kids that year. And my brother flew me there, and what happened? I got thrown in jail. So I did the best I could with no money. So I went to go get my kids. I actually went and I talked to the cop. I said, come on, can you please come walk with me there? I want to go see my kids. And he's like, well, you have a restraining order on you. And it was not even there yet, and or filed or something. And I'm like, you don't even know my side of the story. Oh, well, do you abandon your kids? I go, oh, right away you're assuming that I abandoned. How about him sending me out on my way for $1,000 with his parents' money? You know? So there was just so many things that I just couldn't deal with. So I figured, well, this has got to be some type of contract that we signed before we came down for me to learn something. And, everything he's ever said is totally false, ever about me, to begin with. And, if you're with an abusive person, you don't just put them on a plane and get rid of them like that. I'm sorry. If you're with somebody, you call the police and you get the police involved if you're really, really frightened or scared for your life. And you deal with the situation right there. If I was that out of hand, I mean, take me to a mental hospital or take me to jail. I mean, there was none of that. He did things sneakingly so he can have an affair with another woman. And the woman was attracted to me, and she was a lesbian. So 8 months later, she ended up moving on to some other woman. And now he's been going out with all these other women, in front of my other children, which my son has told me about. Explained everything to me, and I thought, wow, isn't that, he's a sex maniac, just wanting to get his freak on. So now, from what I hear, he's with a girl who's really controlling him. He can't have friends. I mean, she's a controlling bitch. I mean, at least we had friends.
About that. Carry on.
Okay, all right, I'm back. So, anyway, well, so I just kind of came to terms with it. It's a karmic thing. It really is. And when you're dealing with someone who's extremely impossible, I mean, there's the whole point, and you got to think about Abraham Hicks, it might sound a bit selfish, but you got to the point, you have to get to the point and say, hey, how are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling good about yourself? This is your own reality, and especially from what Bashar talks about, the reality is within your mind. There is no out there. Everything is in here, in your mind. Stephen Hawkins is even talking about parallel universes and quantum physics. There's a book out right now in Barnes & Noble, which I went to go see. And everything that we think is outside of us is really inside of our minds. So what is this trying to do to test us? It's trying to test us that we are close to, this is a sign where we're getting closer and closer to finding out who we are and remembering who we are, okay? Knowing that we're very powerful and that we do create our thoughts, we do create people that come into our lives. Everything around us, it's a holographic universe. It is now becoming proven by science now, through quantum physics. I was looking at Dan Brown's book. I'm finally reading The Lost Symbol. I really love his stuff. He's really got some good stuff going on. And let me tell you something about him really quick, not to get sidetracked. Through my friend Eddie, who invented the air cars, he actually introduced me to the producer of Da Vinci Code on the phone. And I spoke to him for a little bit, and I don't remember too much, but all I remember, I was very nervous talking to him, and I said, thank you so much for making this movie. I am so freaking excited. And he's like, oh, you're going to love it. And I think he was like English or something. He had an English accent. And I thought it was pretty darn exciting. I'm thinking, when Eddie came into my life, it happened like in 2004 when I read the book, the Da Vinci Code. I was reading only some of it, and it got me so damn excited, it triggered something within me. Well, then that year is when, in June, is when I got thrown out of the house, out of my ex-husband's life. And then in August of 2004, I ran into my friend Eddie, and Eddie was the one who basically, he got me connected with talking to this guy. He was a producer of Da Vinci Code. So there's a lot of things, like I said, how in the heck, here I am, this girl in North Carolina, housewife, all of a sudden I get out of my comfort zone, I I meet with this guy, and then boom, he's connected with the guy of Da Vinci Code. He also was connected with I think the daughter who also produced. I think it was the daughter who produced Da Vinci. No, it wasn't Da Vinci Code. It produced something with the X-Files. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Some type of producer or the daughter of the producer or something. I don't think I ever remember talking to him, but I did remember talking to the producer of Da Vinci Code. So I thought this is just so freaking wacko. I mean, obviously, if you're living, obviously you realize that you are living out of your mind, within your mind, that everything is within your mind, and everything around you are parallel universes, which is inside you, which is the macrocosm and the microcosm. You then realize that anything is possible. You begin to realize that. If you can create your own reality and it comes from the mind. I mean, this is what we were taught in the esoteric order of the Golden Dawn, a lodge I've been a part of since I was 21. So, all these things coming together. So then, it made me realize this is a resistance that I have been dealing with for so many freaking years. And I feel that once I'm able to break free from this and let him have his way, relinquish my rights or whatever, and just say, you know what, hey, have whatever few more years you have with her, or a couple more years you have with her. See, he thinks he's won, but I know full well, this has nothing to do with winning. Who wins in the situation is the one who deals with less karma and becomes more of water. When you become water, you let go. You let go of the resistance, and you move along like the river. You keep following the river down to where the river's going to take you. You don't sit there and try to fight against the river. It's just not going to happen. So when you do that, when I do this, this is when I realize that this is going to be a different stage in my life. So I can move forward. I can continue writing my books, because I feel that that there's going to be a lot more openings for me. I feel that there's going to be more of a higher calling, that I'm going to be meeting with some very, very powerful, important people in my life that I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet. Eddie was just the beginning, and everything else is just going to start opening up. Once I'm able to let this all go and start focusing on myself, on what in the now, in the present moment, which are my children right now, who really need my help, and let this go. Once you're able to make peace with it, you start to notice a change within your body, how much better you feel. So you start to feel better. It obviously is telling you something. That means, wow, you're able to take control of your parallel universe and make a decision on what to do next. Because that's all it is. You came into this world by yourself. You're going to leave this world by yourself. I mean, maybe that's semi-true, because we do have our guardian angels, okay? But really, when I came into this world, I didn't have my kids with me, okay? It was just me, and then I had to learn to create a whole nother world in my life. I had to create something. So I know very well that I'm going to end up leaving this planet by myself, okay? And that's just how it is, and other people can, whatever they could do, cast judgments, whatever, they could do whatever they want, but that's basically their problem. They're the one with the problem. I'm no longer with the problem. I'm now moving forward. I know who I am. I know what I need to do, and I know that I came back here to do something, and I have to change it. I got to change the way I respond through my emotions, and that's just it. And that's a thing that Eddie taught me. It has all to do with emotions. Once you're able to respond in a completely different way than you've ever done before, you're able to move in whole nother path, and you're able to pretty much graduate. Graduate from a lot of the contracts or whatever that you had to go through. Okay. Yeah, this place is really nice. Wow.
You like
I have it's like a better vibe here.
Yeah.
Well, funny, my husband, we do this telepathy thing a lot. Like, I was thinking about eggs. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so hungry for eggs. And then right away he's like, oh, do you want some eggs, hun? I'm like, yeah. We do this all the time. It's so cool, you know. They say when you vibe with someone that you really love, you know, you tend to be in the same area, you know, vibe.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Did you just throw something in the water? I heard a splosh.
Oh, what now?
When you had your arm up in the air and it went down, I heard a splosh in the water. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to continue on here. Yes, Scott. Scott wants to know about our show in SL.
Well, it's a really cool place to be. It's just that there was one person at the Builders Brewery decided to have a go at us for no reason whatsoever, just because they didn't like what Joanna was saying.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was probably touching on some very, very personal things. So whatever. I mean, whatever. It's time to move away. See what happens. Okay, you can use this as an example. We turned the other cheek. We moved away. We kept moving away. They kept on wanting to fight and fight and fight, right? So what happens? We end up moving into a beautiful place, somewhere way nicer, somewhere that's more in vibration with us. Isn't that right? So that's kind of the moral of the story here. Everything happens for a reason. So, I mean, I was getting pretty pissy too, and I'm like, hey, you know. But everything happens. This actually place seems to really vibe with us. I prefer being here instead. But anyway, so to move along here, I guess, you know, like I said, my focus is just moving forward. Moving forward away from a lot of the fighting and the resistance and having to deal with a battle all the time. And because, you know, they thrive on battle. They thrive on it. And, you know, and it's not good for the soul. You know, it's just time to seriously move on. You know what I mean? And that's just it. Time to move on away from the total negativity. And that's what we had to do. So, you know, here we are moving on, and I'm putting out some other, you know, I'm putting out some vibrations. I'm putting out visualization about certain things I want to do. I want to continue my book. I want to write another one. I'm actually planning on creating a course, like an online training course, maybe even live, to teach, hold on a second, to teach others about how to create your own, you know, do ritualistic work, stuff that I've learned with my, you know, with the lodge, little things that I've learned. Actually, I'd have to say before I joined the lodge, because I can't share secrets from the lodge, but I can only share stuff that I've learned before, which is pretty much similar. So, you know, how to start the day. You want to start the day with a banishing ritual, a really powerful banishing ritual, which is known as the powerful, the supreme invoking ritual, the pentagram. And when you're able to do that, you know, you're able to pretty much move ahead, and, you know, feel better. You know, it enhances all the energies of your body, your soul, all that, like all the elements of your body, air, earth, fire, water, and you're able to be able to be protected and guarded by your, you know, the archangels, you know, your higher angels or whatever, or higher spirit guides, which is extremely powerful because it's Enochian. It's Enochian magic along with it. And, you know, I was taught by my magical mentor, Robert Zink, who is the founder of the Esoteric Order of the Golden Dawn, that is actually much more powerful than the opening by Watchtower. Because, I mean, opening by Watchtower, that's another ritual, but it's a very long ritual. Supreme Invoking Ritual of the Pentagram is very fast, and you're evoking all the elements of the pentagram, bringing in the energies of that into yourself. And what it does, it banishes, you know, a lot of the negative stuff, such as, you know, negative energies, to get in the way of your thoughts, so you can move through your world or your, you know, microcosm free of any of these like negative thoughts, which pretty much you know, tend to come into our world a lot. Like, even if you start your day with a positive energy, and I've done EFT, I've done all that. It's very awesome and powerful, but the problem is it doesn't last very long. It doesn't seem to last very long. So I start the day with a banishing ritual, or a couple of them. And it is extremely powerful because when you understand that you are the creator of your own world, your own universe, you are the magician of your own universe. So by doing so, it's very smart to start your day with banishing rituals. I didn't even do anything today. I was in a rush. But it's so funny, when I don't do something, I tend to attract things that are not really positive because you become a light bulb into a lot of negative energies out there. Okay? And they can tell about your aura, how your aura has enhanced. So it's very, very powerful. I mean, I've been practicing this ritual since I was like 17 years old. And it's very powerful stuff. And you can really make some things happen. But when you know that you are the magician or the creator of your own reality, what happens? And you know that everything happens, you create. And also from your subconscious mind can be created as well. So, pretty interesting.
Oh, that's awesome, Joanna. Yeah. You know, I was talking to Clinton earlier tonight on Facebook.
I've also written a book called Manifestation Magic for the New Earth, which has a lot of the techniques in there. And the best one, the best one is the Supreme Invoking Ritual, the Pentagram. So.
Yeah, I was. Oh, damn it! Hang on a minute. I've knocked my Zoom out. I was talking to Clinton earlier. I haven't spoken to him for ages. He's working, and I was telling him about a recent experience I had when I sort of glimpsed into another universe. I don't know if I told you about it that time when I went to bed, and I didn't actually go to sleep. I put my head down on the pillow and I closed my eyes. In a few minutes, it was like going into deep meditation. And all of a sudden, I was no longer seeing my room anymore. I was seeing another room, and the sun was out. Now that was special, simply because where I was in my room, it was night time. And all of a sudden I was looking at somebody else's wallpaper, and it was bright sunlight, and it was really sharp focus. I don't know if I told you about this, but everything was pin sharp, and it was some other dimension I was looking into. I thought, well, there's no way this is a dream. How you don't dream about flipping wallpaper? Yeah, by location.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I was somewhere else.
That's definitely by location.
And I was somewhere else looking at this wall, and I thought, my God, wherever this is, I want to stay here, you know. And I was getting excited, and all of a sudden, it's like it faded away. It was like a dimmer switch. And I was talking to Clinton about it, and so it was, all of a sudden it was just like the lights dimmed, and then all of a sudden my dark reality came back, and I was back in my room again. I thought, oh no, I want to stay there.
He's fluffy now. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, that happened to me before. It was funny because I was really, it was in the middle of the night, and my third eye was open, and I thought my eye was open. And it was my third eye, and I looked up at the ceiling, and I saw a completely different fan. And I remembered I didn't have a fan in my room. It was someone else's fan in their room. And so it was basically what happens, it's remote viewing and by location. Pretty intriguing, huh?
Yeah.
But anyways, Shelley, I'm gonna have to wrap it up.
Oh, okay. I was just checking the stream actually, because I'm on the laptop monitoring, and I was just checking it because it wanted refreshing. It got stuck or something. But yeah, we'll have to figure out what was that person's name that kicked us out?
Remember, it was Strat-in-Shun.
Strata something. Yes, Strata. I'll have to write that down because I need to register a complaint.
Evidently, he is a landscape artist. He's a landscape artist and architect of the, and does that for people. So that's what supposedly he does, he says.
Right. Well, that doesn't give them the jurisdiction to kick people out. Then, I mean, it's. I understand the sandbox is a place where people can go and it's a safe area. It's a place where you can basically experiment and test things out, and we are testing our show out. I love these orbs.
Exactly.
Around.
But anyways, yeah, I definitely want to wrap this up. Maybe not next Monday, but Monday after we can come together, because I have a lot of plans that I have to do a talk show, and then I got to go somewhere for the weekend and all that stuff. So I'm going to be extremely busy.
Okay.
But definitely, I think just trying to find a place that's going to be good where we can actually chat.
Well, this
nice. Place seems to be good so far.
Yeah, this is nice. I believe there's a sandbox outside as well. Yeah, just don't forget to landmark it, because I'll have to re-landmark it because it was mixed in with my other bookmarks. But I'll put it in my favourites, that way I can find it.
Yeah, well, let me know what you hear back. After the complaint and all that.
Well, nobody's answering me at the moment.
That's just childish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing we need to step away from.
Yeah. No, I've not heard nothing back yet. It's some kind of cult. I don't know, some kind of a fixed mindset.
Yep. All right, girl. I will talk to you guys later, everybody. We tried. Give it our all here. It's been kind of a pain, but I'm sure we'll get together and.
We've seen a few things, Star Trek and everything.
Yeah, it's just basically for people to come together and don't beat it so hard against the asphalt. That's the whole message here. Don't beat so hard against the asphalt. If something just doesn't feel right and you're constantly feeling sick and you're depressed and you're fighting against, this is about you. This is your world. This is the holographic universe, okay? Everything is a hologram, which Dolores Cannon even talks about. When you leave your body, you find out it's just a play. It's not real. It's all an illusion. But it's all just basically to get you to is to exercise who you are and remember who you are, and don't get caught up in the drama. Let those people have their drama, because they're the ones that are creating their own karmic issues. We are if we continue to fight against it. It's like fighting against your own reflection. You can't win. You can never win fighting against your own reflection. So we have to be the bigger person. I mean, I got to think of it like this. What would Buddha do? What would Mother Nature do? You can only do what you can do, especially when there's third parties involved. And again, it is all a mind play. Like if I would have responded in a whole nother way, completely peaceful, knew what was going on, but just kind of let it go like that, and just, that's okay, it's all good. I'm gonna, I think things would have been a little different. If I was okay with it. But, of course, you're a human being. Emotions get in the way. So you tend to act. You tend to react. And me, I was protecting my young, just like a mother cub. A mother cub would do that. They fight to the death. If they knew that their family or their child is being threatened, that's how they can act. So it's not to be pretty, fluffy about it. If I would have known at the time that was actually happening, he had plans, I probably would have fought to the death right then and there. I mean, there's no question. That's what a mother does. But when you've been, lied to and deceived to go take a trip somewhere and, everything's going to be fine, you'll come back, it's going to be all right, you go do your thing, I do my thing, it's okay, that is major deception. And the thing I would like to bring up here, what Dolores Cannon was talking about, is that when the souls, when they leave this world, or this part of the world or this parallel reality, what happens is they go to a place where it's a judgment place. And no, they're not being judged by God. What it is your soul actually goes and goes back and it perceives through the eyes of those you've hurt. And you have to judge yourself, which is the hardest thing anyone can do. So, whatever they've put me through, whatever I put them through, I've already seen through those eyes. I've seen through it through my dreams. And that's why I have such a softer feel about it. Like I have a lot of compassion about it. Like one side of me is very compassionate about it, and the other side of me just wants to tear them apart. Like I'm schizophrenic when it comes to that, because I'm a human being. I mean, how else can I deal with it? But when I'm in the dream world, it's really funny. We're totally. I get along with the people that hurt me. I get along with them very well. We all know it's a play. We're fine. We give each other hugs. It's okay. We're gonna go back. What are we gonna learn now? Okay. We're going to go back to the planet. This is what we're going to do. So I get some downloads here and there. Like I had one last night, and it was very peaceful. The ex and I, we actually were able to get along, and my daughter wanted to come home to me, and I said, even though my daughter wants to finally come home with me, I'm not going to keep her from you, just to let you know that, okay? So when I come down, I'm going to let you know that, all right? And he's like, oh, no, okay, no problem. Just let me know. And I mean, but it was like so friggin' different. Like our whole mindset on the other alternate reality, we are so at peace with each other, like we know what we're doing, and it's to better ourselves. So that's why I'm able to let go today. I'm able to say, you know what, I know this whole thing's a play, and I'm okay. I'm going to let this whole thing go. My daughter's not in any harm. They're not, no one's beating her up. No one's doing anything evil to her. Just that one thing. So it's up to me to handle it in another way where I'm water. And just know that. I wish I can bring you guys in my experience where you can feel what I feel. But maybe you can ask your guardian angels what you can do for those of you who are having a very difficult time with an ex or whatever. Talk to your guardian angel. They're there, you guys. They are there to listen to you all the time. So talk to them. Write in your journal, this is what I wish to accomplish. This is my goal. And I need help in doing this. And, tell them to follow you where you need to be to add closure in a peaceful way. And I will tell you this. Last night I did that, and then last night I had a dream, and I had two dreams where I had closure with a couple people that were like just, oh my gosh, just absolutely horrible in my life. But I brought closure to it in the dream world, or the astral world. And I actually felt so much better waking up that I realized this is all just a game. It's okay. Don't take it so seriously. We forget. That's the thing. We forget about our higher consciousness. We forget who we are. And we get caught up in such a drama that we just want to kill the other person when we get here. But when you're in the other alternate reality, the astral world, you actually feel a lot of love for them. Like, you don't know where the love is coming from. You actually understand, and you can see through their eyes, you see. And that is what I feel when you move on into the next world. When you supposedly die, there's going to be a chance where you're going to have to see through that other person's eyes of how you treated them. And you're going to have to feel everything they felt. All the nights that I've cried, all the nights I was suffering and it is so much pain, they have to go through everything that I went through. And then they're going to find out how they're going to know how to be compassionate for real. And it's not until they go through this themselves is when they're going to find compassion in their hearts. So, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting but very hard reality to live by, because I know I go through my mood swings really bad when it comes to certain things. And what has been helping me get by is doing my rituals every morning, making sure I do them, because it balances me out to a point where I feel great all day long, and I don't feel bad at all. Along with some EFT tapping, sure, you could always do that. But doing some banishings, because you're dealing with a macrocosmic universe, which is really inside your mind, but it's, we feel it's an external part, and it's all there. So you have to know that you're the one, and anyone who comes in contact with you is only a reflection of what you have to learn. So Yeah, but it's hard to see that because we see the other person as really evil, like whoever kicked us out of that other world. I'm like, wow, I cannot freaking believe it. But has it not been for what he did, I don't think we would finish this show or this place coming to this beautiful place. So it all happens for a reason. It all does.
I had this bookmarked anyway. I was going to show you this place, but you're so busy, it's hard to show you really. But I mean, I already had this bookmarked anyway as an alternative.
Yeah, I hear you.
It was one of the first places I ever visited, to be honest. But
It's nice.
yeah,
A lot here. It's really, really cool. So anyway, I wanted to share also before I get going here. So I do plan on working on some rituals. I'm out of my book, Manifestation Magic for the New Earth. You can go to any online bookstore or any bookstore, and you can order it from any bookstore, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. You can go there and you can actually order my book there. And it's in stores all over the world, just in English. And basically it teaches you how to, take control of your life as a magician. And there's going to be a volume 2. So for volume 1, I'm going to create a course with a book included. So that way, you're not just purchasing the course, you're also going to get the book. And I will have some videos demonstrating certain rituals, how I do it, how I perform my rituals on a day-to-day basis, and what you can do. How to create a talisman, how to put your thoughts and invoke certain energies to come in, certain energies, guardians or whatever, and to use their help and their energies into creating a talisman. And a talisman is like an amulet, but a talisman brings things to you. Amulets, a protective amulet, protects you from the wearer, from everything around you. But see, it helps you to utilize your mind. Just like all the symbols, like what Robert Langdon talks about with Da Vinci Code. He talks about all the symbols, how all these symbols represent something. And me coming from the lodge, from a spiritual perspective, and I am a member of a lodge, you're going to be learning something that I've been learning throughout my life, throughout the years of being a magician. And how certain like letters, like the Hebrew letters, can really unlock something within your psyche. When you're meditating on it or about ready to go to sleep, you visualize one of the Hebrew letters, and then it opens something up where you actually scry or astral travel into that world, believe it or not. Very interesting stuff. And the more that you're able to exercise that, you start to take control of yourself, your soul, traveling astrally in other dimensions when you're asleep, and then also, moving into parallel realities by shifting through your emotions, how you feel right now. You're still shifting every single time. So there's so many things that we need to learn. It's wonderful, though, to not take things so seriously. We have to understand that it is just the emotions that we have to master. Okay? So that's pretty much it.
okay. Thanks, Joanna. Anyway, thanks. It was a good show, apart from the mishaps. But yeah, let's do more next week, hopefully. It is a lot of work, actually. I have to. There's a lot of things I have to prepare, and I don't understand why people keep missing the links for the teleport, because I put them in the description. I'll just repeat it again because people keep missing it. But there's in the about event, where it says more about event details at the top of the page, on the videos on the original livestream.com site. Obviously it's not going to be on YouTube, but I'll put it in the description there anyway. But there's no point on old events because we might be in a different location on the next new event. So, but on the live stream, it's in more event details. There's a link there. It says teleport to where we are. So anyway, just repeating that because everyone seems to be having trouble finding us.
Oh, I got an email from somebody. It's really cute. You want me to read it really quick?
Yeah, please do.
Patrick Smith, he says, "Hi, Joanna. My name is Patrick. I'm 23 years old and I live in Chicago. I've been watching your videos for about a year and I love them. I love knowing about spiritual energy and abilities of the body. I'm into this stuff because of lots of anime. I watch like Dragon Ball Z and Superman. As a kid, I always wanted superpowers. The funny thing is, I still do. I would like to know how to truly be free too. I'm in a little bit of a debt right now. It's hard to get out of. Hope to talk with you more. Your biggest fan, Patrick. That's really sweet.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
That was
Well,
nice.
there's a dragon. There's a dragon in is it a cauldron where we were early briefly? There's a dragon you can actually ride on its back, you know, fly through for a scenic tour. But the only reason
Oh.
I tried to take you to it, but we were having lag issues. It was the other week, or it was last week, or the week before.
Ah, dragons are awesome.
Yeah, we can fly on it. You can ride ride its backlight, and but the trouble is, if you're having lag, then you'd probably just get logged out.
Ah, okay, I'm getting my chakra balancing on right now. All right. All
Oh,
right. Well, I guess I'm gonna get going.
okay, Drew. Take
Take care,
care.
everybody. Bye.